We're going to look at how to use the what if feature in the gradebook in Canvas. So we're in the home page of the class. I can either go to grades here, or in our class we have a button down here. Either way, it's going to take you to your gradebook. This is just a fictional test student. I've put in a bunch of random scores here. And the what if feature is going to allow you to go in here and just type in any score you want. This isn't really going to change your scores, of course, but it'll allow your gradebook to look as if you have different scores. And then you can see what impact that has on your overall grade here. So if we look at this make-believe student, we've got a few missing quizzes, 6 points, 9 points here, another 9.1, and 18.1 here. What you'll see as you play around with this is that the larger assignments are going to have a larger impact on your grade. I want to make a note about this quiz in particular. It's 18 points, and that's 18 questions. That might seem really difficult or really intimidating, but when you have a quiz that's really long like this, it has a lot of questions, it's probably going to be easier than average. This quiz is probably one of the easiest ones we've had so far, and I've made it worth a lot of points so that you all can do really well and get this really great score with a ton of points into the gradebook. So if you see a quiz that's worth a lot of points, prioritize that and say, I'm going to go watch that video if I missed class or if I need to review it, and I'm going to get that one submitted. So let's see what happens. This was complementary and supplementary angle pairs. Let's say you remember that class or you watch the video again and you say, hey, I'm pretty confident. Let's see what would happen if I submitted that and I got full credit. Or maybe even, let's say maybe I got a couple wrong. We got 16 out of 18. We were at about 41%, and now we're almost up to passing. Pretty great. Now let's say you don't feel confident at all. Let's say, hey, maybe you can swing a 50% on it. And let's say you've got a handful of missing quizzes here. Maybe you don't feel confident on much of it. Of course, I hope you come to a help session or email us if that's the case, but let's say you just get them all submitted and maybe you get like 50%-ish on all of them. We normally wouldn't think of that as, oh, that's a great score, right? 50% is technically a failing score on that assignment. But 3 points is more than 0. 4 points is more than 0. It all adds up. So we just put in about 50%-ish scores on those missing assignments, and we're up to almost 67% now. We shot over passing, and we even have a little bit of a cushion here. Let's say you go back and you come to one of our help sessions, and now you're feeling great. You resubmit this, and it's easy points now. You get all those. Wow, grade just shot up to a C. So that's great. Especially when we get to unit tests. We haven't had one yet, but they're all going to be somewhere in this 40-point range. You'll really see that those are going to have a large impact on your grade. This will also be really helpful towards the end of the semester when we have our final exam. That's usually worth closer to about 100 points. So that can really have a large impact on your grade. You can go in and figure out, if I get this score on the final exam, what's that going to do to my grade? You can figure out if you say you go into the final with an A, what score do I need to achieve on the final to keep my A? Or if you're just focused on passing, you'd say, hey, I'm passing now. What score do I need to get on the final to keep me passing? And that can be depending on where you're at and where your ambitions are. It'll either give you a heads up and say, hey, I've really got to study. I've got to get my notes together. I've got to go to a help session. And really, we have help sessions for the final exam. So maybe you're going to plan to attend that and ask questions. Or you might find the opposite. You might find that, hey, as long as I take the final and I get at least 10% on it, I'll still be passing. You might see something like that. Of course, that would lower your grade, but if you're still passing and that's your main goal, it can take off a lot of the pressure with a big assignment like that. So you can use this what if feature for a lot of different things. Of course, we didn't really change the score, and this will look a little sad. We're going to revert to our actual scores, but now we know what we can do to get there. So if you have any questions, just email either myself, Ms. B, or Mr. Small, and we can help you out.